In this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board podcast, I have a special guest coming straight from France, the mystery man of the 2023 NBA Draft. It is Bilal Coulibaly, the first-round pick of the Washington Wizards. In this episode, it is a one-on-one interview with the man that most people never heard of until weeks before the NBA Draft. Stay tuned. Big shout out to each and every person that has made the Locked On NBA Big Board podcast your first listen of the day. I'm your host, Rafael Barlowe, the director of scouting for NBA Big Board and the founder of NBA Draft Junkies. And this episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, which is the official sportsbook of the Locked On Network. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. FanDuel, make every moment more. All right. I'm excited about this episode because Bilal is someone that a lot of people weren't familiar with. I was someone that was really high on him, and even me being like really high on him and being a big believer in his upside, I did not see him being a top 10 pick in the 2023 draft until probably weeks before the draft. I thought at best he was a 2024 guy. And then I started to believe that, okay, maybe he can do 2023. And then as his team in France, as their season went on, he just continued to ascend up draft boards. And he ends up being the 7th pick in the draft. So here's an opportunity to get to know him a little bit. And we talk about his crazy journey. At the beginning of the season, he wasn't even playing on the senior team. He was playing in the under 21 league and ends up being 7th overall. We talked about Summer League. We talked about being mentored by Kyle Kuzma. We talked about what he is working on in this offseason, which has been like an extremely short offseason for him. And then he even says that his goal is to win Rookie of the Year. And of course, we talk about his relationship with Victor Oladipo, who he's played with since he first started playing basketball, really. So here is my one-on-one interview with Bilal Coulibaly. All right, we are here in Dallas, Texas. It is a Saturday. I got Bilal Coulibaly, the biggest surprise of the 2023 NBA Draft. First of all, thank you for taking your time.
No problem, man.
I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about the last year. How crazy has the last year of your life been?
Oh my God, everything happened so quick. Going from playing with the younger team, taking those steps, with the pros, and everything happened so fast, man. Getting my minutes, start to play, and rising in those draft stocks, and yeah.
Yeah. So my first time seeing you play was January 22. You guys played Ferris.
Yeah.
And I went to that game, and I remember seeing you make a couple plays. I don't think you had like a big game stats-wise, but I remember seeing like the way you were moving. You had a couple dunks, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" So I'm on my phone trying to like pull up the roster, and by me having like an American phone, the service is really slow. So it wasn't until about the third quarter that I found your name, and I wrote it down in my phone. That's like, all right, this is a guy to pay attention to. This is a guy to watch for 25 draft, maybe 2024. Then I saw you play last summer for the French national team. When do you think you started to turn the corner and put yourself in position to where you are today?
Yeah, I think the French national team helped me a lot. But after that, the game against Brownie and his team I really popped out, and I saw all those media talking about me, getting those followers, everything. So yeah, I think that was that game.
Oh, it was a game last summer.
That's it.
What was it? It was called like California Basketball Club, and they had that showcase. And I forgot where I was at, but somebody was asking me, was I going to the game? And I didn't know about it. I wish I would have known in advance. I do remember seeing that. And then this season, so I went to Paris in September, and I'll be honest, I went to go watch Victor.
Yeah,
so
it's all right. Like everybody.
Yeah, I went to go watch Victor, but I came to your game, the Espoirs game. And I just knew, like, okay, this guy is going to be one of the top picks in 2024. So I don't know if you saw the video, but
I saw it.
I'm glad you saw it. So I brought my camera, and I spent the whole game focusing on you.
Yeah.
I followed you around the whole entire game. And I mean, luckily those games are free, so I didn't have to pay. But I got my money's worth in a sense. You showed like the athleticism, the passing, the dunks, blocking 3-pointers, and so I had held on to that footage. I didn't think I was going to use it for a while, and then I probably maybe like April when your name started buzzing, I went ahead and released it. How was it for you starting the season playing on the under-21 team? Then you were getting minutes here and there on the senior team. Did you know that you were ready to contribute at a high level, or was it something that just kind of came along gradually?
I knew that I could contribute because, when I was practicing, I wasn't practicing that much, but when I was practicing with the pros, I was like impacting, I wasn't like putting the level down. I was like playing real hard, trying to get the place in that team. So, yeah, I was just like not that child playing with grown men. And, so I knew that I could contribute in that.
Were you nervous in Vegas? So I remember I was at the game in Vegas, and I was sitting like right behind the bench. When you checked in at the scorer's table, I tweeted your name. Oh, Bilal's gonna get some minutes, and then you got in there, and it looked like it was overwhelming for you. Were you nervous in that setting in Vegas?
I'll say yeah. It came because we had like 2 games before, and I wasn't playing with the pros.
I was at those 2 games. So it was it like a Tuesday, Friday?
That's it, exactly.
You flew out on Saturday and then played on Tuesday.
Even the practice, I wasn't really playing against them. I was just watching the practices. So coming that in Vegas and playing, I wasn't like I'm not say ready. I was ready to play, but I wasn't like feeling relaxed, because I didn't get used to play with them. So yeah, that was kind of strange.
So you weren't really practicing with them?
I was not.
So they just kind of brought you along?
Yeah.
And so was it because it was like an exhibition game that they brought you along so you could get that experience?
Yeah, I think that was it. And I was supposed to be part of the pro team, but I wasn't playing, like I said. So yeah, that was that difficult moment.
What's interesting about your story is, one, you're not supposed to be here in a sense, right? So you're supposed to be, I mean, you're way ahead of schedule. And then it wasn't until guys got hurt on your team that gave you minutes. When you first started getting minutes, did you feel like this is easier than I thought? Or how did you feel when you first started getting big minutes?
When I first started, that was at Ferris one more time. And I was just trying to go as hard as possible. I knew that defensively I had to do the job. So I came in and like 3 actions, I blocked the shot. And I was like, I was starting to feel confident, and getting those rebounds, running, getting those fast break points. And I was like, that was not easier, but I was just at that level, you feel me? So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, one of the things I like about your game is that you don't need the ball in your hands a lot to be impactful. And so coming in as a young guy playing on an older team, a team that's trying to win.
Yeah.
And one of the things about like basketball in Europe, there's not a lot of developmental minutes. Like if you're playing, it's because either A, you're better than the guys. It's not a long-term approach. It's all about right now. And so for you to go in there and play and make an impact, because they weren't trying to play you, but it was just because that you didn't need the ball, whether it was like transition, defense, or whatever. And so I thought that was really impressive. All right, so when your name first started like rising up the draft boards, what was your thoughts?
I wasn't really looking at it. I was just focused on my season. But yeah, of course, my family was sending me those articles and stuff. So yeah, I saw it. That was like, I was happy because I've been putting the work in. So that's all I needed to have. You feel me? So yeah, I was happy seeing that and just keep working to get better and better.
I feel like I had you mocked the highest.
You did.
I had you at number 9, and you went higher than I thought. And people thought I was crazy for putting you at number 9. But the more and more I watched your film, and then the more you played in big games. So you went from playing under 21 to playing in the finals. How was that experience?
It was different at every level because, I was playing under 21. I first started to get some minutes, but back of the bench. And, starting to rise up, going to five, starting 5. So, yeah, that was something crazy, playing against Monaco, all those ex-NBA players.
Yep.
It was a crazy year.
Football season is about to kick off, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to win all season long. Because right now, when you bet on a team to win the Super Bowl, you can get bonus bets every time that team wins in the regular season. So just pick any team to win the Super Bowl, and you'll get bonus bets for every victory. Me, personally, I am going for the Cincinnati Bengals. I was a Bengals fan throughout my childhood. I'm left-handed. Boomer Esiason was left-handed. And at the time, I think Steve Young was the only left-handed quarterback, so I'm giving my age here. So I'm going for the Bengals because throughout most of my adult life and my childhood, the Bengals weren't good. But now they have a chance to be good, so I'm going for the Bengals. And you can use your bonus bets on spreads, player props, overs, unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and start earning bonus bets with America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. So how was the experience playing with Victor, knowing that you got a chance to showcase your skill level in front of really the world on the NBA app, all the scouts? How was playing with Victor?
I mean, playing with Victor, I'm kind of used to it because, I've been knowing him since I was like 11. And, he just keep improving. Seeing him doing those things, I was shocked the first one before everybody. So, he's just special, And playing with him was good because he was talking, putting you in some, some great conditions, giving you those easy pass, easy buckets. And, that was a great year.
He hyped you up before the draft. He said you were top 5 pick?
Yeah, he said everybody knows now that I'm a top 10, but I got to be top 5.
So I saw that, and I thought it was fake. I thought it was like, because it had to be translated.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to put it in this article that I wrote, but I decided not to put it because I couldn't verify if it was true.
Yeah.
And then I ran into your agent in New York, and he said, yes, that is true. And then the day before the draft, he says, and Boona, he has a smile on his face. He says, what do you have, Bilal? I said, I think he's going 9 in Utah, he says.
Yeah, he's like
put him
that.
higher.
He's like that.
And so I thought, Boona's a reliable source, but I didn't trust him. I still kept you at number 9.
Yeah.
And then when you went higher, so I was at the draft, and I was shocked. But you're in a good situation in Washington.
Sure.
Do you feel any pressure because it's a new front office, everything is new, and you are like the first pick of their new regime? Do you feel any pressure behind that?
Not really. I've been talking with the coach, the GM, and everybody. They're just putting me in some great conditions. Talking with teammates too. Mm-hmm. So now I don't feel that pressure. I'm gonna just play my game, like I used to do, and it would go well.
So I was at a summer league game. I forgot which game it was, and there was, I forgot, who do you guys play? Maybe the Pacers.
The first one? That was the first game?
I think it may have been the first game. And at halftime, I saw Kyle Kuzma come on the floor and talk to you. Have you been in touch with Kyle, and how has he been helping you out through this process?
Yeah. Even before all this drafts and things, he came to a playoff game in Cholet, and after that game, we talked a little bit. But he was more here for Victor too, so we talked with Victor too. But after the draft, sending me those texts every time after kind of every game, and like you said, at halftime, he told me to just play my game. I wasn't playing in the wrong way. I was doing the things, but just take those shots. I'm just here to improve. So, that's what he told me.
If I'm not mistaken, I think you kind of had a rough start in the first half.
Yeah.
Second half, you played better. And you had a chase down block.
Yeah.
Had a chase down block. Now, the press conference with the Wizards front office talked about your defense.
Yeah.
When did you know that you were a good defender?
I'll say in the French national team, actually, because they were putting us in those situations, focal 1-1, and I was kind of lucky in them guys. So I was like, I can play defense. I just, started to watch films on the best defenders like Michael Smart and everything. They were talking a little bit, Kawhi, showing those, looking at those feeds, how they were moving, and just learn from that.
Defense is a mindset.
It is.
And so how did you get the mindset to become a good defender?
Yeah, as soon as I come on the court, I'm just like, ain't nobody gonna score on me. That's just it, I don't want nobody to score on me because, that's a bad feeling when somebody's scoring you. So, I'm just locked in, and, that's it.
So do you think right now, is your defense ahead of your offense?
I say right now it's possible. Yeah, yeah. Right now, but I got a lot more potential on my offensive side.
I just watched you work out, and like I said, I've been following you for a couple years now. I've watched a lot of your film, but one thing I did not know until I saw today is how shifty you are with the ball. Like your ball handling has come a long way. I think like there's real big upside as a shot creator. Tell me, what have you been working on this summer? I know it's been like a short summer for you because you had a long season. Like I told people, I said I went to watch you play in September. Your season didn't end until late June. Then you went straight to summer league
Yeah.
and played. You played the whole summer, right?
Yeah.
The whole summer league. So your off season has been really short. While the American players, their season was over. If they went all the way to the Final Four, their season was over in April. They
Yeah.
had a pre-draft process. So you kind of have a short summer. But what have you been working on in your little bit of time?
I've been working on my handle first and my shot. Even before summer league, when I was practicing in Washington with the coaches, they were telling me like, what do you want to work on the most? And I thought those both things. So yeah, that's the things I've been working on the most.
The ball handling and the shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen, like I said, the ball handling. All right, let's talk about draft night.
Yeah.
So I saw you and your family. Y'all look alike.
I know.
I saw you and your family at the draft. And actually, let's go before that. When you got the invite to the green room, were you surprised?
I kind of knew it. I was waiting on it. Because I know, I knew those draft stuff when going up. That was crazy. And when I was talking with my agent, I was like, yeah, it might come. So when it came, I was like, that was a crazy year. And I was kind of surprised, enjoyed. And I was a little bit surprised.
So draft night, when they called your name, what was your first reaction?
I was like, oh, I'm in the NBA right now. And that's not a objective no more. I'm in the NBA. Like, that's crazy, yeah.
Especially considering nobody knew who you were.
Yeah.
I mean, a few months ago, I heard a story where someone had told some scouts about you at the game in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you didn't play, they were like, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Then I heard in January that same scout was like, okay, I see it.
You was right.
And then I heard in April that same scout called the original guy was like, okay, you were right. So what is your goal for next season as a rookie?
Yeah, just working a lot on my, the things I gotta improve on, like offensively, even defensively. Just being the best version of myself, and I'm trying to be rookie of the year for sure too.
Oh, rookie of the year. So I love the confidence, and I mean anything is possible.
Sure.
You're a living proof that anything that anything is possible. Are you going to take some time off just to relax, and because you've been going nonstop? Are you going to take any time off?
I mean, season starting right now, so no time off. I had a little bit of some days, before coming here in Dallas. So yeah, it's good. It's enough. So now let's just put the work in and do our things,
I also saw you working on your finishing.
Yeah.
Is that something that, like, right hand, left hand, finishing through contact, is that something that you're looking forward to showing this season?
Yeah, because I know everybody's bigger, everybody's more athletic in the NBA, so gotta work on those, touch things, and that's something I'm trying to prove on too.
Let's talk about your background.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
I'm born in Saint-Cloud, that's near to Paris.
When did you first start playing basketball?
I was 10. I was playing judo at first, and I was supposed to play soccer, but there were no more plays, so I started basketball, and I loved it.
At 10?
Yeah.
So you've only been playing, you just turned 19?
Yeah, I just turned 19.
When's your birthday?
26th of July.
We got the same birthday.
That's
See,
crazy.
I knew this guy was cool. So you've only been playing 9 years.
Yeah.
That's probably even more crazier than your story because, there are people, they've had the ball in their hands since they were 3, 4.
Yeah.
So by you only been playing 9 years, you still have a whole lot of growth and development. And so when you first started playing at 10 years old, was it awkward for you or did it come easy or what?
It was Nah, those first practices were kind of, man, awkward. I was shooting the ball like that, and yeah, that was kind of rough. So yeah, after like 2 weeks, I was like, nah, I got something. Like I knew that I was kind of good, but I was just playing for fun. So yeah, but I knew I was kind of good because whenever I started to play against guys that were playing like 3 years, for 3 years, I was kind of like the same level. You feel me? So yeah, I knew that I was kind of good.
And how old were you when you started playing with Victor?
I was 12.
12 years old.
Yeah.
Is it weird to you that you guys were playing together as kids, you guys played
It is.
together as professionals, and you get drafted together?
It is, man. It is. That's just the process. You feel me? So yeah, that was crazy.
Now, for you, you weren't like the most hyped guy in your generation. So it was obviously Victor. There are some other guys that were ahead of you. And now here you are, you were the 8th pick. Was it 7th or 8th? 7th pick.
Yeah.
Oh, they flipped. So you were the 7th pick. I don't know why I've been thinking 8th, but I guess I flipped. How are people like reacting to you at home now? Are people like, he came out of nowhere? Or are there some people that like, I knew he was this good all along?
There were a lot of guys that, some guys in my building, parents of my friends were saying that I knew you were going to be in that league. And my mama told me, like, when I first started to play basketball, some neighborhoods came and in our neighborhood, somebody came and say, I know your kid gonna be good. And yeah, she was shocked. She was like, he's 10, what you talking about? And when she saw that, she was, as soon as I get drafted, she told me that she was thinking about him at the moment. Yeah, so yeah.
All right, so, and I know like your NBA experience has been short, just summer league, but what was the biggest difference between summer league and playing in Europe?
Like I said, everybody's faster, that was the biggest change, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The quickness and, yeah, way more athletic too. And those ball screens, they were a lot different because in France they were more like edging, and now they were like switching or, staying in that paint. So yeah, that was different, and yeah, that was the biggest change, yeah.
That was the biggest change? All right, so what do you like to do in like your free time?
Free time, I like to play video games with my guys back in France, and yeah, do some shopping and practicing. That's it.
Is it gonna be a little hard playing video games with your guys because of the time difference?
Yeah, jet lag's crazy. Yeah.
All right, last question. What are the Washington Wizards getting in Bilal Coulibaly?
Yeah, they have a great two-way player that's going to be playing as hard as possible, just trying to win. And, yeah, just playing, like I said, as hard as possible. They just got that dog, They're always a guy like that, and I'm the one, I think, yeah.
Good interview with Bilal Coulibaly. Is a player that I've been following for a while. He is one of the biggest mysteries, if not the biggest mystery in the draft. And now you got a chance to hear him tell his story a little bit. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.